Hi, Carrie. Thanks so much for joining me today. We
Hi.
are super excited for your class and so grateful to you and to King Arthur Baking Company for making this opportunity available to our community. So I'd love for you to just tell us a little bit about you to start.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm thrilled to be working with the Guild for this class. I am the head baker at King Arthur Baking Company, the bakery in Norwich, Vermont. I've worked here for 11 years, primarily as on the bread side. So I'm very familiar with working with bread. And then now I'm the head of the bakery, which is great. I've also worked throughout New England in other bakeries. And I did have my own business for a few years before moving up to King Arthur. So I have a experience in like some small spaces and also in this larger space as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I wish I could come take this class because rye, I actually love to eat rye.
Yeah.
100% rye bread is like my daily bread. But can you talk a little bit about the class and some of the info
Yeah.
you'll cover and some of the things you'll make?
Yeah, definitely. I have taught several rye classes before, and then Melina came up with the best of rye because it was just kind of pulling from many of those classes and just finding like my favorite products that I've been teaching. So it will include a range of about of 100% rye to down to 40% rye because I think it's really nice to show a spectrum of rye breads and how you handle them slightly a little differently as the rye increases in the bread. Um, and then we're also going to dive into some pastries with rye. Either one cake that I love in particular is made with hazelnuts and old Volkorn bro, like ground down, and
Oh,
it's lovely. It's very rustic and just right up my alley. So I'm really thrilled to teach that as well. And we're going to do another some cookies and rye brisée too. So I think just a nice range of rye products that should be interesting, and you should learn something from that as well.
that cake sounds incredible. So did you say you're grinding up like old stale 100% rye bread essentially and using that as a
Yeah,
that sounds
using that as the base, and it just has like a really nice like you still get some toothsome texture from that, and just that really nice flavor. It's like toasty and rye and nutty, and it's delicious.
Oh,
So
nice. So
yeah,
I'll give you my address and you can send me some.
yes, definitely.
So for folks who may just be getting into working with rye, what are a
Mhm.
couple things, what are a couple techniques or things to keep in mind when working with rye that you can tell us?
Yeah, so I think that first of all is just kind of don't be too hard on yourself and allow yourself to experiment for sure with rye, as in just like even subbing in a little bit of rye into your product and pulling out a little bit of all-purpose flour is just really a nice way to introduce yourself, your customers to rye and to a different grain. Um, so think about that just as far as like with pastries in particular. And I would say with rye breads, don't think about it like a whole wheat bread. Think about it like something very just different. It's not going to develop that gluten, um, especially 100% rye. So don't judge the bread on crumb structure, and the fermentation time is going to be very short. So just changing your expectations of a bread, and I'll certainly teach everyone those techniques and what to look for. And another very practical tip with rye breads is try using a wet bench. Forget about the flour. And when you're dividing and when you're shaping, just wet the bench and have a nice tub of warm water, and it's going to change your world.
Yeah, I that has always intimidated me, that
Yeah,
idea, but I think I need to try it
it
again. It's
it
this,
just feels like just get that flour out of there.
yeah,
I think
yeah.
water is your friend when you're working with rye.
Well, thanks again, Carrie, for
Yeah,
making some time to talk to me, and we're super excited for your class.
yeah, I'm excited too. Nice talking.